Hello, everybody. Welcome. And of course, you read the title. Yeah. Well, guess what? I got a few rules to basically put down on here. And first of all, if you get
very, very salty, then three things for you. Stop the video, dislike the video, and then unsub. And save yourself 8 to 9 minutes. I'm warning you right now. There can be no complaints, nothing. I'm warning you now. That's the way it is. So,
okay, so basically that's what's gonna happen. All right. Don't get that way and all that. But all right, let's get into it. Of course, Zen is here, as always, because I
Hello,
know he
people.
has a few thoughts on this. But we're just gonna make this quick and sweet. Um, and first of all, that is yes, the Yakuza is acting, man. The Yakuza is here. They've been in there. They've just been hiding. But it seems like they're finally acting. But the way it's gonna go here is now. Trust me, there are some good things, but there are some bad things, really bad things. But I'll put my 2 cents after him because he's got a lot to say, Zen. So go ahead, man. What do you have to say about what Nintendo is really doing with this whole program? Like, what the frick?
Oh man, yo, I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with. I want to give a shout out right here to K-Wing. That's Nightwing 01. Been subscribed to him for years. Great content, great channel. So go on over there and view what he has to say firsthand. It was a video he uploaded maybe this morning, last night. I'm not even sure when. Must have been this morning because it was this morning that him and I'm assuming several select others who are of that privileged tier of YouTubers who do get press releases from directly from the companies and so forth, in this case being Nintendo. And after reading it and the new legalese and wording in it and the way it seems to him, he seems to know what he's talking about, as he has explained in this video and in videos before it. He's had to become very versed in reading contracts and things that you would have to sign and agree to, as he's a channel that does this for money. This is actually, if not his sole way of making earning a living, it is up there among what he does to make money. So, respectable guy and everything. I have no problem with him, nor his content, nor his message. Even this one, it turns out that Nintendo had a revisioning, I suppose would be the word, of their rules behind the MCN. That's the multi-channel network that they've been trying to introduce to people and is out in beta right now. It turns out that in response to the backlash they received from the larger YouTubers, PewDiePie and so forth, there are a few others. I can't bring the names up at the top of my head right now, but I'm sure you know who I'm referring to. They pretty much just flipped out double middle fingers, and said, F those guys and everyone else, because we're changing this thing, we're doing what we want. And I have to say, it is not good. Not good at all. Not only for the short term and where Nintendo's MCN is concerned, but in the long term and what they've just done. They've opened Pandora's box. There's no other way to look at this. Eventually, and I'll explain as I go along, this is what's going to happen. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you don't know, you probably just finding out about this now. The revised rules of the MCN are, well, I'll stick to just the two, is this. Not only from the moment of your signing up your channel, if you decide to sign the entire channel, as you know, you can sign individual videos and the entire channel. Most are going to air towards entire channels because who really has the time to sign up and register individual videos all the goddamn time? No one, right? So most are going to sign their entire channels into Nintendo's MCN. If you do that, then not just from the moment of your registration within the MCN program will you have to stick to Nintendo content and only Nintendo content, as he will oust you from the program, or in this case, refuse you payments should you feature or have any other publishers or console makers content on your channel from the moment of signing. This apparently also applies retroactively, where you're going to have to delete, not just set to private or set to unlisted, but you will have to delete, remove entirely from existence any videos that feature any other content that isn't from Nintendo and isn't on the whitelist that they provided. I assume Mega would provide a link to the whitelist so that you can check out what games are allowed and what games are strangely
Yeah,
omitted.
I will.
So this is problematic. Not for me personally, because from the minute I heard about this thing, I said, nope, not for me, hands off, washing my hands of that shit. Because I didn't view it as a money thing. As you well know, this Angry Phone is not being monetized for money. I mean, if it was, I'd be doomed. If I relied on the money I made from that channel, I'd be doomed right now. So it's pretty much just to ensure that I have a free platform to share my opinions and to give you guys content about the games that I happen to enjoy. That very concept would be put in danger if I joined this MCN, because unlike every other MCN out there, none of them, at least on the surface, are tied to a console maker or a publisher, a major console maker or publisher that publishes and makes certain games or certain services. Therefore, with Machinima and with what's the other one with I forget the name, it's Push Start, I think. With those other MCNs out there, you don't have to worry about maybe your opinion may rub the bill payers the wrong way. Here you do. When you really think about it, this is less about Nintendo freeing creators, content creators on YouTube from YouTube's tyranny, so to speak. This is actually applying a whole different level of tyranny. This is them controlling the message. For example, if I ran an MCN, the Zen Gamer Multi-Channel Network, I wouldn't necessarily be paying you or sharing revenue with you if you're a part of my network in exchange for what I may deem slander. Persons who join this multi-channel network are going to be tethered by Nintendo in regards to what they say and how they say it. Last night's video about me disagreeing with Nintendo's current philosophy when it comes to internet and all of that and the Splatoon and blah 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 yada yada so on and so on, without going too deep into that, things like that would, well, frankly have to not exist. You are binding people to only give favorable views about your products. And you might think that's not what they're trying to do, but I assure you that's where it's going to go. Look at how you feel about people who use YouTube, whose primary income for money is YouTube. Look at how you feel when they talk about popular news, or when they use titles that can be deemed as quote-unquote clickbait. An effort just to get people to come to your video and argue in your comment section and refresh the page a million times and buff your views way up. Look at how you feel about that. You feel as if the person wasn't very truthful, right? You feel as if they manipulated their viewership, their sub base, in exchange for views, so that, you know, they deliberately started drama or started something that they knew was controversial, or beating a dead horse, so that they can build up their ad revenue and make more money for that quarter or for that period of payment with YouTube and with their MCN or whoever they're signed up with. You feel cheated, don't you? You feel as if this person could never be trusted for anything again, given that they've pretty much sold out in exchange for money. How now can you say that you be fine with channels who sign up for Nintendo's MCN, given that they're going to be bound by what they say and how they say it, and not be entirely truthful, and their candor is going to have to be toned down? I'd assume, if you were being truthful to yourselves, that you'd feel the same. That's the way I see things going. And now, we're returning to the point where I said Nintendo's opened a Pandora's box here. Is, now that they've done this, what's to stop other publishers and other console makers from doing the same? Imagine a world a YouTube, where every major console maker and every major publisher came out and said, we're going to have an MCN as well. We're going to start our multi-channel network where you can only promote, support, and feature our content and must remove every other type of content from your channel, either retroactively or from that moment forward. You're going to have channels dedicated to the likes of, well, Nintendo, dedicated to the likes of EA, dedicated to the likes of Ubisoft, Sony, Microsoft, Sega, on and on and on. And what's going to happen is, one, as a viewer, the variety of things you may get on an individual channel is going to decrease. Two, as a viewer, you're going to have to be very skeptical of what some people say about certain things, given that they may be working for a Sega, for example. They're not going to come out and say, well, Sega's paying my bills, I'm signed up with Sega's MCN, but here's my honest and unaltered, unadulterated opinion about Sonic Boom being a bad game. You're not going to see that. I can't say that. I definitely could, and I have said it in the past. Why? Because there's no big brother hanging over my head. But for these people who sign up for this network, it's very hard for me to imagine them being entirely truthful 100% of the time. Which brings another thing into the question of who would sign up for this and how qualified they are. Now, PewDiePie, as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to like him, but that shouldn't tint or color your opinion of what's going on right now. PewDiePie is one man. Yeah, one man with a very large subbase, but he's still just one man. So, your history aside with him, that shouldn't really color your opinion of what he's said on the matter, and I happen to agree with him. There's a bunch of loopholes and tricks and dips and jumps and all sorts of things that you have to do to appease Nintendo to either be accepted into or stay in, once accepted, into their MCN. And persons who have already done this for a number of years or months and have been very successful at it, you have to ask the question, why on earth should they do all of that to appease just Nintendo, instead of just continuing to play the other 80% of games that they do, risk-free and without all of this additional trouble and legalese and red tape that they must now cut through. In the case of persons like, let's say, Egoraptor or any of these other fairly large YouTubers who may cover Nintendo content and also other publishers' content and other console makers' content, you're telling these people that in order to sign up for your MCN, they must retroactively delete everything that has nothing to do with you and your products. And they must never cover anything else afterwards. This is not good. In fact, this is evil. This is...
I mean, it's just, you know, you have it where, and I'm going to bring up the good points, people, don't worry. Not everything's that bad. But it really is kind of evil because they're telling you to basically sell your soul to them, and whatever they tell you, you have to do. It really is like that if you want to get partnered with them, because one little mistake, they will let you know, and if you do anything else, talk bad or anything like that, you will, well, guess what? They're going to cut you out. So really, it's a really bad way of doing this kind of program, and I'm gonna mention that I'm gonna tell how they should actually really do it, and that way everybody can go away fine and dandy, and no one's complaining. Everything, okay? Now, first off, I understand many people are like, well, it's their games, they made it, they can do whatever they want. I understand that. That is actually true. From my perspective too, I am like, I draw and all that stuff. I wouldn't want anybody, you know, later on when, you know, I make a game, steal my stuff and you know, do all this stuff. But I'm just gonna mention the good things here. Now, if you are new, let's say, or you want to and somehow, what was it?
No, you cut out for a second there. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And somehow, you know, because this will happen. I'm just gonna say you might just so-called get a job over there if you're doing that well because you're that close with Nintendo. And you know, this is for, I would say this kind of program really is for people who just want to advertise for them and stay full on Nintendo and just do some, and just like basically whatever Nintendo announces, they advertise like the mofo. They would go out of their way on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, all social media, and especially of course YouTube where this is taking place, and just spread this out and go crazy with it. And of course Nintendo's gonna like that. So that is where I would see that this program is meant for those kind of people that want to get that close and advertise for Nintendo, and then probably even get a job since you're now that close to each other. See, now that's actually a good point right there. But of course, there's many people going around being like, "Oh, this is bad. This is all bad." And I know the people, especially that make money. Yes, all you guys out there. Of course, it was. Now, to me, honestly, that was all on you guys. All right, that was all on you guys for going on YouTube and making money. That's just me. Okay, all for all those people, because I know from any of our stances right now, like basically anybody in our group of GAL, we wouldn't even survive on here. We'd probably get $100 every 20 years. Okay? That's just the honest truth. But unless somehow freaking one day it's just like we reach over that much. But honestly, it's kind of ridiculous with these people kind of complaining at this. But here's a way that Nintendo, okay, can make this better for all those guys over there that make money, everything, right? Make it where, okay, you have two separate programs. One where it's fully on dedicated. You have to make a fully on dedicated Nintendo channel and play whatever games that they have on the list and all that, which is kind of very few, which, to be honest, that's really bad. So, they have that program. Then they have the second program where anybody who wants to put on, on their channels Nintendo gameplay or any kind of news, something like that, or talking good or giving a review, something, all that other stuff, right? Of course, except for talking bad about Nintendo, those videos would get funded, and of course the pay cut would happen where Nintendo gets whatever, and the YouTube channel's owner gets the other half. So that's what they have to really do. That's what I'm seeing right there, because to have it where this is the only option people have to get, for those guys to get money from them, or at least try to get their so-called living, which is, I have many mixed feelings about this. I know I'm kind of mixing it around, biting my tongue, but is really where they have to make these kind of two separate programs so like everyone's happy. But really, it's really it's just Nintendo, like, I understand you guys are protected. It is right. They have the right to do this stuff. They actually really do. It's their content. It's their what they make money from. It's honestly all right. I understand. Trust me, people. I understand that. But at the same time, you can't really just piss everybody off. You can't just be like acting like freaking full-on Yakuza, because to be honest, from this act, I don't think Yamauchi's gone. I think he's around, and that was just fake, to be honest. But
Yamauchi's head is in a jar somewhere, and he's having council meetings with Hitler.
Yeah. I mean, it's just either do that or fire this team that created this format and have another team do it and just redo the whole thing, because this is honestly way too strict, and really to anybody, but of course to me, and I know probably Zen and many others, when we do something on Nintendo or something like that, they do give us the claim, but I just acknowledge it and go on with my day. I really don't care, of course, because I'm not doing this for cash. I'm doing this because it's fun, and it's fun to give thoughts, and it's also great to meet others and discuss gaming. You know, that's why I did this. I didn't do it just for like, wait, they don't accept claims. Well, I'm not doing that. You know, like of course there was Angry Joe. Shout out to him. He's good, man. He does funny freaking videos. See his review
I can't wait for the Angry
Dynasty.
Joe rant on this one.
Oh,
I
man, I
can't
can't
wait.
I can't. No, but honestly, I freaking love the guy's comedy stuff. It's awesome, especially during the Duck Dynasty review. That was funny. But you know, he got a Wii U, and he was having fun with it, which was surprising. You know, he actually got one.
Well, he didn't get one. Some fans bought it for him.
Oh.
They really want to see full-blown Angry Joe reviews for Nintendo games on the Angry Joe channel. So they came together and they bought one for him because there's no excuse anymore. It's free. Here you go. And they got some games for him as well. The two popular games, Smash and Kart, and that's how that happened. But yeah.
So, all right. So basically, you know, fan got it for him, but you know, he got it. He put up a video related to whatever gameplay it was that he was live streaming on Twitch, and then transferred it to YouTube. And of course, Mario Kart, right? And then he got copyright claimed by Nintendo, and of course, he got angry of that because you know he's one of the YouTubers that are big and they make money off of doing what they do on YouTube. So, you know, for those kind of people, I would say Program B is the best option for them because they could go with Nintendo. Basically anything good Nintendo, man. You guys over there, whoever this team is, I'm not blaming Nintendo as a whole because I know Nintendo as a whole is not part of this. Just that team that made this kind of thing. You guys have to rewrite everything. Just do 2 separate programs or just make this different entirely because you can't just make it where the people have to be solely dedicated to you. You know, there's many other programs out there that, all right, you want to show our stuff, well, there you go. You know, Microsoft doesn't bother anyone anymore because I remember when they used to bother a lot of people with Halo. But then they gave it up because they acknowledged it, they were okay with it, and you know, they're just right now anybody who uploads Halo, there you go, you don't even get claimed, unless it would be probably because of the bot, the dumb, horrible bot on YouTube. But you know, Nintendo just has to put a different kind of program, a different kind of way of sharing their kind of you know, games and content that they have. Now I understand this, trust me. If it's like, let's say a full-on artwork, freaking like anime trailer or something like that for, let's say, Kid Icarus or you know, the Smash Brothers stuff. Yeah, they should not make money out of that because that's your content. You guys worked hard to make that, and you know, why is anybody else uploading this? Even though many people do. You know, they do get claimed, but they just acknowledge it or whatever. But yeah, you guys have the right. But let's say a game like from N64, Super Mario 64, there's no reason to claim that video since you guys already made the money from that game. You guys already did. N64 era is like way beyond gone. So honestly, you guys should not be getting it. It's the same way as movies, honestly, where you know, the movie's like what? It could be like 10 years old. I mean, there's people that go on Pirate Bay. What's so bad about that, honestly? Because the people who got the movie, basically, the people who made it, they already got their money. They already got everything. They probably already made like freaking 30 other movies within all those years. So I totally get that. But you know, all this stuff they just have to change a lot. And really bring in a different kind of program, or just get rid of the program altogether and rewrite the whole thing. So that's honestly what I'm coming with. There's many more I could say, but honestly, I'm just gonna wait until all this rolls out, because Nintendo always kind of rechanges their mind when they get a lot of backlash. So I'm just gonna wait until this goes out, and we'll leave it at that. But before we go, of course. I do have some questions. I did have the Q&A, and we do have two. So if you guys can make it in time by the time we answer these two questions, then we'll stay here a little longer and answer your question that you have. But if no one's here after we answer these, it's done. So first question comes from Rob Robolux. All right, Rob
Butcher.
LOX Gal. All right, whatever. I'll just call you Rob. What Nintendo games do you prefer playing and sharing with others? For me, Nintendo game, I would say, if it had to be anything, I would say any kind of cool finishing kill I get in Smash, I would say, because if it has to be stylish for me in order for me to upload it. So that's what I would upload. Actually, it's Smash if I do something cool in there, do some epic combo or something like that. But yeah, I mean I guess that's the only one. There's many more, but I don't want to explain that. But Zen, you want to answer this question too? I mean.
Nintendo games I prefer playing and sharing with others. Mostly multiplayer games, I would say, but were I ever to start uploading content, it would be more along the single player lines.
Okay.
Due to, I think there is a multitude of ways, at least if the game is well developed, a multitude of ways to do anything in any game. So seeing different persons do certain things, you're like, oh, well, I wasn't aware that perhaps I could have done this that way. So I would have done some things that I believe are fairly unique, or maybe things that I found out that I haven't really seen anyone talk about in single player games as well, in playthroughs like that.
Okay. Because that, I thought you were gonna say probably like the new Zelda, where now you can do all that jumping off the horse and shooting at the same time. Probably get like a whole kill 10 goblins or something like that. Or moblins, sorry. But yeah. So the next question we also have from Anderson Archula. Welcome back. And all right, there we go. Let me see. I just want to choose this one. Okay. Will there be emails to Nintendo about this and Splatoon voice chat? I haven't heard of any actually being sent. The Splatoon voice chat.
That is
Look, I'm just gonna leave it brief.
I would do so. I would do so.
I would.
But one or two persons doing that is not going to change anything.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be largely ignored. What we do need, like I said last night, is an entire conglomerate, an entire union of people coming forward and doing that. But right now we have such fragments and splinters, and of course, like I said last night, people just willing to defend that situation without actually sympathizing to those who may want the feature or not. It's just a complete mess, and it's a lost cause. That game is going to come out. It's not going to have voice chat among randoms, because the current talk right now is among friends, but sorry, that's not enough. The next game is going to come out. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be watch, rinse, repeat, and that's going to be the history of of Nintendo and so forth. That's the way that the majority wants it. So there we go. We're a minority, as I've been told.
I'm just going to say this. There's just no excuse. You can say all you want to try to defend this. There's no excuse why Splatoon should not have voice chat in online matchmaking, like with randoms. Because this is a game where you need to talk to somebody. It's where, okay, hey, I'm in trouble. Oh, what, you're going to look at the gamepad and automatically just go there? No, it's because you can't hear it. That's the thing. You can't hear it. If they're in trouble, well, too well. That feature there is useless, honestly. So, it's just like that, man. There is no excuse of why does everyone hate options? That's all I have to say with that. Why does everybody hate options? There's just no excuse, man.
Because we all know the little b is bad. We only want A.
I mean, it's just it really freaking pisses me off with this. But the whole YouTube thing of emailing people like that, I mean, honestly, to me, the only reason I'm doing this is really because people are having mixed feelings about this, and of course, doesn't want to put his words out, and really, I just wanted to bring out what is good for people, for these type of people that want to work close with Nintendo. So that's really what I put out there. Not really to be like, oh, doing all this garbage, but yeah, it's kind of a really bad move for anybody, that wants to work with Nintendo and get funds with them, and really just probably even get a chance to really get to know and go to E3 and stuff like that. But now you can't. Because honestly, I bet they would do that. They would. Because I remember going to the summer Wii Champions games, and the people who won that competition, there was different sections. They got to be in commercials. They did go to E3 that year, or the next year after that. It was like in 2010, so they went in 2011. So they were able to go and all that stuff. So yeah, honestly, this would actually make it worthwhile. But yeah, I bet it's just if enough people do it. Because remember the backlash with Smash Melee not being at Evo, and they changed their minds and be like, yeah, we didn't mean that. Get the frick out of here. But I guess I have one more question from Anderson, and that is, anyone find it weird that despite the issues, many are still signing up, and actually causing a bit of traffic? Did they just really sign up without reading anything, or think that since it's a beta, it'll change later on?
I'm going to go with A. They signed up without reading anything. They saw Nintendo Network, multi-channel network, sign up. That's it. They didn't read any of this.
Yep.
I'm fairly sure that the news from this morning is still not widely known. So that's the way it goes. That is, it was always going to be a success. It doesn't matter what this thing is. Nintendo could have said, or whoever network could have said, it could be the Microsoft or Sony network, could have said, that network could have said, hey, we only want you to make videos about select things, or we will edit your videos as we so choose, or things like that, or any sort of invasive thing. It doesn't matter what they decide to do. People will sign up because they see it as a way to get closer with some big company in the industry, and most people don't look at the actual what they're signing up to. I mean, that's general human nature. That's the way contracts go. Do you know that more than 60-70% of people don't read contracts before they sign into them? Do you read the EULA or the TUS? I don't. When you sign up for these consoles and you go online and so forth, people don't do it. People simply saw Nintendo's name on an MCN and decided to run with it. And that's the reason why it's, so popular or anything. And because it's done so well, and so many have signed up for it and probably gotten in at this point, as it is, it won't change later on. That's it. Because again, there is really you can't change something by conceding to it or by going along with it. That is not the way things work. It's kind of like someone tripping you or hitting you, and every time they do so, despite the pain they cause you, the physical pain they cause you, or the annoyance it might cause you, you laugh and you shake it off. You say, "Oh, that's okay. That's all right. You're just joking."
Yeah,
it'll never change. So
it's never gonna really go away. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it at that, guys, and that'll be it for this. This mega rants will just come whenever there's something I feel like ranting about, and I probably will have guests. It will be alone with me sometimes, or with anybody else. But yeah, this is going to be something that's going to be going on from the years to come. So just check out with that. And I got plenty of stuff coming up. Trust me on this. And like, let's say some more, I would say Smash content, basically with my amiibos and stuff like that. A tutorial, really how to train them really good. Because I've been training them again and again and again. And Bowser right now, a.k.a. John Cena, is insane. It's like he has a heartbeat. So Trust me, I'm gonna try my best here and do that kind of video. And later on, if you guys haven't been watching my cast, which is the mega cast, it is basically where at the end I do these Smash Brothers amiibo fights, and I put different amiibos to fight against each other, and basically who wins, you know, we kind of bet on them and all that. But I'm gonna make it where you guys will be able to bet, and of course, whatever you would win, because I actually plan on doing a giveaway soon, so watch out for that. And I would say it would be live, but I have to check on that. But just look out for when I'm gonna do that, because I still have to go through the format of how I'm gonna do this kind of giveaway. But yeah. So screw that. But I guess we're done here. Zen, anything you got to bring out? Go for it.
No. Pretty much said what I needed to say about both DMCN and our little off-topic session there about the voice chat thing, but more or less that's just about it. See you guys next time.
All right. So I'll see you guys all later. Look out for probably a video this week. I forgot to mention a video this week of some amiibo unboxings there, because I'm getting more this weekend apparently from what the guys at GameStop told me, that they're receiving their shipments of the rest of Wave 3. So hopefully I can get one, get my orders, because I already have Sonic and Mega Man. I have 2 Mega Mans pre-ordered and 1 Sonic, and hopefully I can get a Toon Link and Shulk. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. And like I always say, don't lose your way. Don't be afraid. Just game till the end. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.